At Thanksgiving a year or so ago, I ate so much of one sweet potato dish that I almost made myself sick. The layered potato slices were topped with marshmallow and drizzled with maple syrup, so I should really have known better. I also wish I'd known that not all sweet potatoes are equally sweet, and that there are so many more varieties than the orange-fleshed ones, aka jeweler Beauregard, that we see most commonly on shop shelves. Sweet potatoes vary hugely in looks and color, too. Their skin can be tan, cream, copper or a deep purple-red, but it's the flesh inside, which ranges from orange to white or a wondery bright purple, that highlights the differences in taste and texture. These variations in hue are due to the presence of different plant pigments that give all vegetables their color. Chlorophyll turns them green, beta-carotene makes them orange or yellow or red, and anthocyanins turn things red or purple. Each of these pigments responds differently to heat, water and light. Carotenoids, for example, are relatively stable, which is why carrots tend to stay bright orange when cooked, whereas some green vegetables can lose their vibrancy, as do purple veg. Membership of N30 and Weekend Live. Different colored sweet potatoes also have varying levels of starch, which once cooked, affects how sweet they are. This is due to an enzyme that attacks the starch and breaks it down to maltose, which can be almost syrupy sweet. This process is most apparent in orange sweet potatoes, particularly when they're cooked long and slow, so giving the enzyme more time to work, and explains why quickly boiled or steamed orange sweet potato is far less sweet. White or golden fleshed sweet potatoes are more starchy than orange ones, and have a nuttier, slightly drier texture that makes them ideally suited for fritters. A soggy mix doesn't lend itself to frying. Purple fleshed sweet potatoes, meanwhile, are a wonderful recent revelation for me. I happened upon them by mistake, thinking I had bought some regular sweet potatoes at the local market. They're piled high at any West Indian market or grocer, if you're lucky enough to have one nearby, and came across that glorious mauve flesh only after I'd peeled them. They have a distinct taste, too nutty, smoky, with hints of bacon. They're more savory than sweet. This got me thinking about the link between fires and marshmallows on the one hand, and bacon and maple syrup on the other. Maybe that super sweet Thanksgiving dish did make a tiny bit of sense, after all. Mashed purple sweet potatoes with lime and yogurt. The purple looks brilliant, but the dish is still worth making if you can only get hold of regular orange sweet potatoes. Serves 4 as a dip. With flatbreads or focaccia. 550 grams purple or orange sweet potatoes, i.e., about 2, peeled and cut into 2 cm pieces. Flaked sea salt 40 ml, olive oil 2 limes. Finally grate the zest of both and cut one into wedges. To serve 200 grams Greek-style yogurt, 1/2 small garlic clove, peeled and crushed 1½ teaspoons pomegranate molasses, 2 teaspoons coriander leaves, finely shredded 1/2 large red chili, de-seeded and finely chopped 1½ teaspoons sesame seeds, toasted. Put the sweet potato in a small saucepan, add boiling water just to cover, then stir in 1.5 teaspoons of salt and cook on medium-high heat for 1012 minutes, until soft enough to mash. Drain the potatoes, add a tablespoon of oil, and mash until smooth. Leave to cool slightly, then stir in half the lime zest and 2 tablespoons of yogurt. Spoon onto a platter, then make dips in the mash with the back of the spoon. Combine the remaining yogurt with the garlic and a tablespoon of oil, then spoon evenly over the mash, making sure the mash remains visible in places. Drizzle over the pomegranate molasses and the remaining oil. Scatter over the coriander, chili, sesame seeds and the remaining lime zest. Season with 1/8 teaspoon of salt and serve with the lime wedges. Peanut and sweet potato fritters. You can buy white sweet potatoes in Caribbean supermarkets and specialist greengrocers. They have a nutty taste and dry texture, but, as in the mash recipe, regular orange sweet potatoes will also work, if that's all you can find. Serve as a snack or starter, with a simple green salad. Makes 12 fritters, to serve 6. 1 baking potato 400 grams, 1 large white or orange sweet potato 400 g, salt 150 grams, roasted skinless peanuts, finely blitzed in a food processor, 2 green chilies, de-seeded and finely chopped 8 spring onions, finely chopped 5 cm piece fresh ginger, peeled and finely chopped 15 grams coriander leaves, roughly chopped 60 grams coconut cream, 2 tablespoons rice flour such as Dove's, not the glutinous Asian variety, 3 tablespoons groundnut oil, for frying 2 limes, zest finely grated, then cut into wedges. To serve, heat the oven to 220 C 425 FGAs Mark 7. Put the potato and sweet potato on a small tray and roast for 4,560 minutes, until soft. Remove from the oven, cut in half, out all the flesh and roughly mash. You should end up with about 500 grams. Add a teaspoon of salt and all the remaining ingredients apart from the lime wedges and oil, and combine. With slightly wet hands, form the mix into 12 7 cm wide x 2 cm thick patties, each weighing about 75 grams. Pour a tablespoon of oil into a large frying pan on a medium-high flame. Once hot, fry 4 fritters at a time for 4 to 5 minutes in total, turning them once halfway, until golden brown all over. Transfer to a plate lined with kitchen towel and keep warm while you repeat with the remaining fritters and oil. Serve warm with the lime wedges alongside. Winter Spice Cheesecake with Marmalade Glaze. Yotam ottolenghi's Winter Spice Cheesecake with Marmalade Glaze. Photograph Louise Haggard. The Guardian. Food styling Emily Kidd. Prop styling Jennifer K. This needs to set in the fridge for 5 hours, or overnight, so make it ahead of time. Once assembled, it will keep in the fridge for a couple of days. Serves 8. 550 grams sweet potatoes, i.e., 2 medium ones, cut in half lengthways. 60 grams amaretti biscuits, the hard type, not the chewy one. 60 grams hobnob biscuits. 60 grams roasted and salted almonds, roughly chopped. 10 grams black sesame seeds, toasted or white, if that's all you have. Half a teaspoon ground cinnamon. Half a teaspoon ground nutmeg. 70 grams unsalted butter, melted. 300 grams fat cream cheese. 250 grams mascarpone. 90 grams icing sugar, sifted. 3 tablespoons lemon juice from 12 lemons. 2 teaspoons vanilla bean essence. 140 grams fine shred marmalade. 3 tablespoons maple syrup. Heat the oven to 210 C 410 FGAs. Mark 6.5 and line around 23 centimeters. Springform cake tin with baking paper. Lay the sweet potatoes cut side down on an oven tray lined with baking paper, and roast for 3,050 minutes depending on size, until very soft. When cool enough to handle, out the flesh into a food processor. You should have 300 grams, and discard the skin and any hard or burnt bits. Blitz until very smooth, then refrigerate until cold. While the potatoes are roasting, put the amaretti and hobnobs in a clean plastic bag and bash them to a fine crumb with a rolling pin. Mix with the almonds, sesame seeds, spices and butter, then spoon into the base of the cake tin, pressing it down firmly to form an even layer. Refrigerate while you get on with preparing the cheesecake mixture. In a freestanding mixer or with a handheld vice, whisk the cooled sweet potato with the cream cheese, mascarpone, icing sugar, 2 tablespoons of lemon juice and a teaspoon of vanilla until smooth, thick and well combined. Spread the cheese mix evenly over the biscuit base, then refrigerate for at least 5 hours, or overnight, until set. An hour before you want to serve, put the marmalade, maple syrup and the remaining lemon juice and vanilla in a small saucepan. Bring to a boil on a medium-high heat, then stir vigorously for 2 minutes, until the mixture thickens slightly. Take off the heat and leave to cool. Release the cheesecake from its tin and discard the paper. Gently pour the cooled marmalade mix over the top of the cheesecake, and use the back of a spoon to level the surface. Refrigerate again for 10 minutes, then take to the table. Yotam ottolenghi is chef patron of Ottolenghi and Nopi in London.